Last summer, I made the mistake that I think so many moms in business make. I told myself I was going to, quote unquote, scale back for the summer. And honestly, that sounded really healthy in theory. More flexibility, more time with my kids, less pressure, less launches, less client calls, and more fun. And underneath all of that, what I was really craving was relief. I wanted to breathe a little. I wanted to stop feeling like I had to operate at full capacity all the time. I truly wanted space. But what actually happened is that I disappeared. I stopped marketing consistently. I stopped nurturing my audience. I stopped planning ahead. And I said yes to too many things while simultaneously pulling back from the things that actually maintain momentum in my business. And by the end of the summer, instead of feeling rested, I felt stressed because suddenly fall rolled around and I felt like I had to rebuild momentum from scratch. And I think that this is a mistake that so many moms make when they try to scale back for the summer. They think scaling back means disappearing completely, and those are not the same thing. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Sustainable CEO Mom Podcast, the show for service-based moms who are done with hustle culture and ready to build profitable businesses that actually fit their lives. I'm Jenny Sunnison, business strategist, podcast mentor, and the founder of Moms Make Money Collective. Let's build something sustainable. Hey, and welcome back to the Sustainable CEO Mom Podcast, the podcast for service-based mom entrepreneurs who want to build profitable businesses that actually support their life instead of consuming it. Around here, we talk about sustainable growth, realistic business strategy, systems that save your sanity, and what it actually looks like to build a business in the margins of motherhood. In today's episode, I want to talk about the difference between strategically scaling back and unintentionally sabotaging your momentum, and why winging it creates more stress, not less, and the summer momentum system that I personally use now to stay visible, maintain revenue, and protect my nervous system during lower capacity seasons. Because I really believe that you can have a lighter summer without burning your business to the ground in the process. So let's dive in. I think one of the biggest lies that moms tell themselves around summer is that they'll just figure it out when summer gets here. And listen, I say this with love because I have totally been this person. But unplanned flexibility is usually just chaos wearing a cute outfit, especially as moms. Because what happens? The kids are home, schedules change, routines disappear. You're trying to work while parenting full time, your capacity changes daily, and suddenly every single work block feels reactive instead of intentional. And as someone who has ADHD and a nervous system that absolutely does not thrive in chaos, I've learned that planning ahead actually creates more freedom for me, not less. Working ahead calms my nervous system. Having things batch calms my nervous system. Knowing my visibility systems are still running calms my nervous system. Because when everything feels reactive, my brain starts to spiral. And I know I'm not alone in that. I think a lot of moms secretly believe that if they scale back, they're going to lose momentum, lose clients, lose income, become irrelevant, or have their audience forget that they exist. And ironically, that fear causes them to swing between two extremes. Either they try to operate at full capacity all summer long, or they emotionally check out completely. And neither one of those is sustainable. You do not need to operate at 100% capacity to maintain momentum, but you do need intention. That is the difference. The moms who maintain momentum through summer are not necessarily working more. They just plan differently. So let me talk about what I call the summer momentum system. This is a shift that changed everything for me. So instead of asking, how do I keep growing at full speed this summer? I started asking, how do I protect momentum with the capacity that I actually have? And that question changes everything. Because summer is not necessarily a growth season for a lot of moms. Sometimes it's just a maintenance season. And maintenance is not failure. Maintenance totally matters. Protecting visibility matters. Protecting audience trust matters. Protecting your nervous system matters. And protecting consistency matters, especially if you don't want to start from zero in the fall. So here is what my summer momentum system looks like. So the first thing is strategic minimums. And this is huge. So instead of trying to maintain my normal workload during the summer, I intentionally reduce the minimum activities that still move the business forward. So for me, that looks like serving my existing clients really well, nurturing my audience consistently, staying visible, and participating in strategic collaborations. That's it. I want you to notice what's not on that list. And that is trying to do everything, launching constantly, creating endless new content, and being online 24/7. I think most moms massively overestimate how much they need to do to maintain momentum. Momentum is often built through consistency, not intensity. And honestly, some of the most sustainable businesses are built by people who know how to maintain visibility even during their lower capacity seasons. And the second part of the system is visibility without constant creation. And this one is absolutely critical because a lot of moms disappear during summer because they think visibility requires constantly producing brand new content. And it doesn't. I really want you to think about reusing your content. Seriously, reuse the email, reuse the podcast episode, reuse the threads post, reuse the Instagram caption, reuse the training, and reuse a framework. Your audience is not sitting there cataloging every single thing that you've ever posted. And honestly, the people who need that message probably missed it the first time anyway. This summer, I'm heavily leaning into repurposing, reusing, resharing, and simplifying because visibility does not have to equal exhaustion. And I think this is where moms tend to burn themselves out. They assume visibility has to look like constant creation, constant output, and constant pressure. But sustainable visibility is usually systems-based, not hustle-based. Then the third part of the system is protect, don't pause. And this is probably the biggest mindset shift of all. Your goal during summer doesn't have to be explosive growth. Your goal simply might be protecting momentum, protecting relationships, protecting audience trust, protecting your lead flow, protecting consistency, and protecting your own energy. And honestly, that is more than enough because here's what I've learned. When you disappear completely, the re-entry feels so much harder. You come back in the fall panicking, trying to ramp everything back up. You're feeling behind, and you feel like you lost traction. But when you stay lightly connected to your business throughout the summer, fall is going to feel so much smoother. You're not rebuilding from scratch. You're continuing momentum that already existed, and that truly matters. I also want to say something that I think moms need permission to hear. Scaling back does not make you less ambitious. Wanting more time with your kids during the summer does not mean that you're not serious about your business. And wanting flexibility does not make you lazy. And honestly, I think we have to stop glorifying operating at full capacity 24/7, especially during seasons where actual life capacity changes, because your business should support your life, not consume it. And I think for a lot of moms, summer becomes this internal tug of war between wanting to be present and being terrified of losing momentum. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can strategically scale back without disappearing. You can simplify without sabotaging yourself. You can maintain visibility without living online, and you can protect your peace and your business. So if you're going into summer feeling overwhelmed, feeling behind, feeling scared of losing momentum, or feeling like you have to choose between your family and your business, I really want you to hear this. You do not need a perfect summer strategy. You need a sustainable one. And that is exactly why I created the Sustainable Summer Survival Kit, because I wanted moms to have practical support for simplifying, batching ahead, protecting momentum, creating visibility systems, and building a business that can actually survive lower capacity seasons without falling apart. Inside the kit, I walk you through how to stay visible without constantly creating, how to simplify your business for summer, and how to maintain momentum without burning yourself out in the process. Because summer should not feel like survival mode every single year, and your business should not collapse every single time your schedule changes. So if this episode resonated with you, definitely go grab the Sustainable Summer Survival Kit. It'll be linked in the show notes for you. And friend, you do not need to disappear this summer. You just need a more sustainable way to stay in motion. All right, that's it for this episode. I'll talk to you next week. If this episode resonated with you, share it with another service-based mom who's building something real. And when you're ready to move from reactive business ownership to sustainable CEO leadership, your next step is waiting for you. You'll find the right path, whether that's the accelerator, the collective, or a deeper intensive, by going to momsmakemoneycollective.com. You're not just building a business, you're building it your way sustainably, with profit, with margin, and with intention. Because hustle is optional, leadership isn't. I'll see you next week.